Europe, a continent steeped in history, from the icy Arctic to the sun-kissed Mediterranean, from the Atlantic's waves to the Ural Mountains' peaks, a tale of triumphs and tragedies. Empires built and shattered, ancient Greece the cradle of democracy, Rome's legions and laws forged an empire. Europe's story is a tapestry of countless cultures, the Celts with their intricate metalwork, the Vikings who sailed from icy fjords, the Slavs spreading their traditions. These diverse peoples laid the foundation for Europe. Their interactions shaped the continent's destiny. They left an indelible mark on the land. In the sun-drenched shores of the Aegean Sea, a new chapter in European history began. Ancient Greece, a collection of city-states, rose to prominence. Athens, the cradle of democracy, flourished. Its philosophers, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, challenged conventional thought. Their ideas resonated through the ages. Greek playwrights crafted timeless tragedies and comedies. Their works explored the human condition. This flourishing wasn't confined to Athens. The Olympic Games brought together athletes. They showcased their physical prowess. But Greece was not a utopia. Internal conflicts weakened the Greek world. These conflicts left Greece vulnerable. Yet the Greek spirit endured. Their legacy continues to inspire. From the ashes of a fractured Greece, a new power emerged, Rome. A city on 7 hills, Rome transformed from a small republic into a vast empire. Its legions, disciplined and relentless, conquered lands from the British Isles to the Middle East. Roman law, a cornerstone of their civilization, provided a framework for governance and justice. Their engineering marvels, from aqueducts to roads, connected their vast empire. The Colosseum, a testament to their architectural genius, hosted gladiatorial contests and public spectacles. Roman emperors, some benevolent, others tyrannical, left their mark on the empire. Augustus ushered in a golden age of peace and prosperity, Pax Romana. Hadrian, known for his architectural projects, strengthened the empire's borders. But even Rome, with its legions and laws, wasn't invincible. Internal strife, economic woes, and barbarian invasions weakened the empire's foundations. The fall of Rome, a gradual decline rather than a single event, marked the end of an era. The fall of Rome ushered in a period of change and upheaval across Europe. Yet the legacies of Greece and Rome continued to resonate. Their languages, Latin and Greek, became the bedrock of new languages. Their architectural styles influenced countless buildings, from churches to castles. Christianity, which emerged in the Roman Empire, spread rapidly after Constantine's conversion. The Roman legal system provided a framework for developing legal codes in medieval Europe. Greek philosophy and scientific thought, preserved in monasteries and libraries, lay dormant, waiting to be rediscovered. The fall of Rome did not signify the end of civilization, but a transformation. New powers, new faiths, and new ideas rose to fill the void. The seeds of medieval Europe, sown in the ruins of the Roman world, were beginning to sprout. As the Roman Empire crumbled, a new force emerged, Christianity. This fledgling religion, born in the Roman province of Judea, spread like wildfire. Persecuted at first, Christianity found an unlikely champion in Emperor Constantine. His conversion legitimized the faith and paved the way for its adoption as the official religion of the Roman Empire. Monasteries scattered across the continent became centers of learning and piety. Monks diligently copied ancient texts, preserving classical knowledge for future generations. The Church, with its growing power and influence, played a pivotal role in shaping medieval society. The papacy, based in Rome, exerted its authority over kings and emperors. Cathedrals, towering symbols of faith, rose in cities and towns across Europe. Art and architecture flourished, inspired by religious themes and biblical stories. Christianity, once a persecuted sect, had reshaped the spiritual landscape of Europe. With the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe fragmented into a patchwork of kingdoms and principalities. In the West, Germanic tribes established their own kingdoms, laying the foundation for future nations. The Franks, under Charlemagne, forged a vast empire, briefly uniting much of Western Europe. In the east, the Byzantine Empire, the eastern remnant of the Roman Empire, continued to thrive. Centered in Constantinople, the Byzantines preserved Roman traditions and developed their own unique art and culture. The Vikings, fierce warriors and skilled seafarers, embarked on daring raids across Europe. From Scandinavia to the Mediterranean, they left their mark, establishing trading posts and even founding a dynasty in Normandy. This period, often called the Dark Ages, was not devoid of light. It was an era of transformation, where new powers emerged, new cultures interacted, and the seeds of a new Europe were sown. The Middle Ages, 1,000 years from the fall of Rome to the dawn of the Renaissance. Not a period of stagnation, but profound change. Faith tested, empires forged, feudalism bound peasants to lords, lords to kings. The Catholic Church influenced every aspect of life. Monasteries preserved knowledge and fostered scholarship. The Crusades, religious wars ignited by faith. Knights bound by chivalry sought glory. Castles, symbols of power and protection. A vibrant tapestry of cultures emerged. Vikings assimilated, contributing to Europe's cultural blend. Normans conquered England, impacting language and culture. The rise of Islam in the 7th century AD sent shockwaves across Europe. Muslim armies swept across North Africa, then into Spain, carrying a new faith and civilization. The encounter between Christianity and Islam was marked by cultural exchange. Islamic scholars preserved classical texts, sparking the Renaissance. Advances in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine reached European universities. In Spain, under Muslim rule, a unique culture flourished. The Alhambra stands as a testament to Islamic Spain's artistic brilliance. The Middle Ages saw powerful monarchs consolidating authority and forging nation-states. In France, the Capetian dynasty centralized monarchy. William the Conqueror's victory in 1066 began Norman rule in England. The Magna Carta of 1215 limited the monarchy's power. The 100 Years' War between England and France ravaged Europe. The Church faced internal challenges. The investiture controversy tested papal authority. These struggles foreshadowed the Renaissance and Reformation. In the mid-14th century, a devastating plague, the Black Death, swept across Europe. Carried by fleas on rats, the bubonic plague spread with terrifying speed, decimating populations and leaving cities deserted. The Black Death, one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, had a profound impact on medieval society. The massive loss of life led to labor shortages, empowering peasant revolts, and challenging the feudal order. The Church, its authority shaken by its inability to halt the plague, faced criticism and dissent. Yet, amidst the devastation, there were also signs of resilience and transformation. The Black Death spurred advances in medicine and public health. The need for skilled labor led to the growth of towns and cities. The questioning of traditional hierarchies paved the way for new ideas and social structures. Out of the ashes of tragedy, a new Europe, more urban, more dynamic, began to emerge. The late Middle Ages witnessed a resurgence of learning and culture. The Renaissance, a period of great artistic and intellectual ferment, had its roots in Italy, where scholars rediscovered classical Greek and Roman texts. Johannes Gutenberg's invention of the printing press in the 15th century revolutionized the dissemination of knowledge, making books more widely available. Universities, established in major cities across Europe, became centers of scholarship and debate. The rise of a wealthy merchant class, fueled by trade and exploration, challenged the dominance of the old feudal aristocracy. New trade routes to the east, pioneered by explorers like Marco Polo, brought wealth and new ideas to Europe. The stage was set for a profound transformation. The old medieval order, with its feudal hierarchies and religious dogmas, was crumbling. A new era, marked by intellectual curiosity, artistic innovation, and a thirst for exploration, was dawning. The winds of change swept across Europe, carrying the seeds of the Renaissance. A vibrant cultural movement, the Renaissance embraced classical learning and human potential. It began in Italy, in bustling city-states like Florence, Rome, and Venice. Leonardo da Vinci embodied the spirit of the age, excelling in art and science. Michelangelo redefined art with his Sistine Chapel frescoes and the Statue of David. The Renaissance was a period of innovation and discovery. The Renaissance witnessed an explosion of artistic creativity. Inspired by classical models, they embraced realism and perspective. Leonardo da Vinci's sfumato technique imbued his paintings with an ethereal quality. His Last Supper captured the drama and emotion of the biblical scene. Michelangelo infused his works with dynamism and power. His David embodied the Renaissance ideal of human potential. Raphael's harmonious compositions captured the beauty of the human form. His School of Athens celebrated the classical world and knowledge. Renaissance architecture blended classical elements with innovative techniques. The spirit of inquiry during the Renaissance extended beyond art and literature. Scientists questioned long-held beliefs, embracing observation and experimentation. Copernicus proposed a heliocentric model, placing the sun at the center. His theory, met with resistance, challenged the prevailing view. Kepler developed laws of planetary motion, describing elliptical orbits. Galileo's telescope observations supported the heliocentric model. Harvey revolutionized medicine with his discovery of blood circulation. These breakthroughs laid the foundation for modern science. The 18th century witnessed the rise of the Enlightenment, an intellectual and philosophical movement that emphasized reason, individualism, and human progress. Enlightenment thinkers, known as philosophers, believed that reason and education could be used to improve society and challenge traditional authority. John Locke, an English philosopher, argued that governments derive their legitimacy from the consent of the governed, advocating for natural rights to life, liberty, and property. Montesquieu, a French philosopher, proposed the separation of powers, dividing government into legislative, executive, and judicial branches to prevent tyranny. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a Swiss philosopher, emphasized the social contract, arguing that individuals surrender some freedoms in exchange for the protection and benefits of living in a society. Voltaire, a French writer and philosopher, championed freedom of speech and religious tolerance, criticizing superstition and intolerance. The Enlightenment's emphasis on reason, individual rights, and progress had a profound impact on political and social thought, inspiring revolutions in America and France. The 16th century witnessed a tumultuous period of religious upheaval with the Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther, a German monk and theologian, challenged the authority of the Catholic Church, sparking a religious revolution that would reshape Europe. Luther's 95 Theses, a list of grievances against church practices, spread rapidly thanks to the printing press, igniting a firestorm of debate and dissent. The Reformation led to the emergence of new Protestant denominations, including Lutheranism, Calvinism, and Anglicanism, challenging the Catholic Church's dominance. The religious landscape of Europe was forever altered, with profound political and social consequences. Religious wars erupted across the continent, pitting Catholic rulers against Protestant princes. The 30 Years' War, a devastating conflict that ravaged Europe from 1618 to 1648, exemplified the bitter divisions and bloodshed that resulted from the Reformation. The Reformation's emphasis on individual conscience, literacy, and the translation of the Bible into vernacular languages had a lasting impact on European culture and society. The 18th century ushered in a new era of industry. In Britain, the Industrial Revolution transformed society, with the steam engine driving factories and revolutionizing transportation. Textile mills churned out cloth at an unprecedented rate, fueled by coal mines, the lifeblood of the era. Cities swelled with people seeking a better life. The gap between rich and poor widened, and child labor became commonplace. Yet innovation thrived, with railroads and telegraphs connecting people. The 19th century witnessed the rise of European empires, driven by a complex interplay of industrial might, national ambition, and a sense of cultural superiority. Britain, with its vast colonial holdings, became the world's dominant power, its navy ruling the waves and its flag flying over distant lands. France, seeking to rebuild its empire after the Napoleonic Wars, extended its influence across Africa and Southeast Asia. Germany, unified under Bismarck's iron will, emerged as a latecomer to the scramble for colonies, but quickly became a major player on the world stage. The race for colonies fueled rivalries and tensions among European powers. The Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, ostensibly aimed at regulating European colonization and trade in Africa, instead formalized the carving up of the continent among European powers. This era of imperialism left a lasting legacy, shaping the political and economic landscapes of colonized regions and contributing to the global inequalities that persist today. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo in June 1914 ignited a powder keg of tensions, plunging Europe into the abyss of World War I. What began as a regional conflict quickly escalated into a global conflagration as alliances drew nations into the vortex of war. Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, found itself facing off against France, Russia, and Great Britain. New technologies of war, from machine guns to poison gas, transformed the battlefield into a mechanized killing field. Trench warfare, a brutal form of combat, resulted in horrific casualties, with millions of soldiers mired in muddy trenches, caught in a deadly stalemate. The war shattered the illusion of progress, exposing the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of unchecked nationalism and militarism. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended World War I, but failed to address the underlying tensions that had led to the conflict. Germany, burdened by war guilt and crippling reparations, faced economic and political instability. The Russian Revolution of 1917 ushered in a new era of communist rule, challenging the capitalist West. From the ashes of war, new ideologies emerged. Fascism, with its emphasis on nationalism, authoritarianism, and militarism, gained ground in Italy and Germany, promising order and strength in a time of uncertainty. The Spanish Civil War from 1936 to 1939 became a testing ground for fascist and anti-fascist forces, foreshadowing the horrors of World War II. The world, scarred by war and divided by ideology, braced itself for another devastating conflict. World War II, even more destructive than its predecessor, left Europe in ruins. Cities lay in rubble, economies were shattered, and millions were dead. The Holocaust, the systematic extermination of Jews and other minorities by Nazi Germany, stood as a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity. Yet amidst the devastation, there was also a spirit of resilience and a determination to rebuild. The Marshall Plan, a massive aid program funded by the United States, provided vital assistance to war-torn European countries, helping to revive economies and rebuild infrastructure. The formation of the United Nations in 1945 offered a glimmer of hope for international cooperation and the prevention of future wars. Europe, though deeply divided by the Iron Curtain, began the long process of healing and rebuilding. From the ashes of World War II, a bold vision emerged, a united Europe. The European Coal and Steel Community, established in 1951, laid the foundation for economic integration. In 1957, 6 nations signed the Treaty of Rome, creating the European Economic Community. This pivotal moment paved the way for a single market, intertwining economies. The dream of a united Europe, once ravaged by conflict, began to take shape. The path towards European integration was not without its challenges. Differences in language, culture, and national identity persisted, testing the limits of unity. The 1970s oil crisis, triggered by an embargo by Arab oil-producing nations, exposed the vulnerability of European economies to external shocks. The introduction of the euro as a single currency in 1999, while hailed as a major step towards integration, also sparked controversy and debate. Some argued that it eroded national sovereignty and imposed economic burdens on weaker economies. The expansion of the European Union eastward in the 21st century, welcoming former communist countries into the fold, brought about both opportunities and challenges. While expanding the EU's reach and promoting democracy, it also raised concerns about economic disparities and the absorption of new members. The late 20th century witnessed a seismic shift in the geopolitical landscape with the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. The collapse of communism in Eastern Europe marked the end of the Cold War and opened up new possibilities for a united Europe. Germany, divided for decades, reunited in 1990, symbolizing the healing of old wounds and the triumph of democracy over tyranny. Former communist countries, eager to embrace democratic values and market economies, looked to the European Union as a beacon of hope and stability. The EU, once a bulwark against Soviet expansion, now faced the challenge of integrating these newly liberated nations, extending its reach eastward and reshaping the political and economic map of Europe. The fall of the Iron Curtain ushered in an era of unprecedented expansion for the European Union. One by one, former communist countries joined the bloc, eager to share in the benefits of peace, prosperity, and democracy. This eastward expansion brought about a wave of optimism, but also raised new challenges. The integration of these new member states, with their diverse economies and political systems, required careful management and a commitment to shared values. The EU's institutions had to adapt to accommodate a larger and more diverse membership, balancing national interests with the pursuit of common goals. Despite the challenges, the EU's eastward expansion marked a historic achievement, extending the zone of peace and prosperity and solidifying the bloc's position as a major player on the world stage. Europe today stands at a crossroads, facing a complex array of challenges and opportunities. The global financial crisis of 2008 exposed vulnerabilities in the Eurozone, testing the limits of economic and monetary union. The rise of populism and nationalism, fueled by economic anxieties and concerns about immigration, has challenged the EU's commitment to open borders and multiculturalism. The UK's decision to leave the EU in 2016, a historic rupture in the bloc's history, highlighted the fragility of unity and the enduring power of national identity. Climate change, a global threat, demands collective action and a shared commitment to sustainability. Despite these challenges, the European Union remains a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of cooperation and the pursuit of peace. As Europe navigates the complexities of the 21st century, its commitment to democracy, human rights, and international cooperation will continue to shape its destiny and influence the world. And so we stand at the precipice of the future, looking back at the long and winding road that is European history. Europe's journey has been one of triumph and tragedy, of innovation and upheaval. Yet, through it all, the spirit of Europe has endured. Europe's story is not confined to the continent itself. Its influence, like ripples in a pond, has spread across the globe, shaping cultures, igniting conflicts, and inspiring movements. From the Americas to Asia, the echoes of European exploration, colonization, and revolution can still be felt. The Industrial Revolution, born in the heart of Europe, transformed not only the continent but the world, ushering in an era of unprecedented technological advancement and economic growth. European ideas, from democracy to socialism to Marxism, have sparked revolutions and shaped political systems across the globe. European art, music, literature, and philosophy continue to inspire and captivate audiences worldwide. The works of Shakespeare, Mozart, Da Vinci, and countless others transcend borders and language barriers, speaking to the universality of the human experience. Europe's legacy, though complex and often fraught, is undeniable. Its contributions to art, science, philosophy, and politics have shaped the world we live in today. As we look to the future, Europe stands at a crossroads, grappling with the challenges of a rapidly changing world. Globalization, climate change, and technological innovation are reshaping the geopolitical landscape. The European Union faces internal divisions and external pressures. Yet, amidst these challenges, there are also reasons for hope. Europe remains a beacon of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law.